For over a century, the Panama Canal has been the world's most vital shortcut, connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans and saving ships weeks of travel. This man-made marvel moves 270 billion in cargo each year, making it a backbone of global trade. But now, a severe drought, worsened by climate change, has dropped water levels in the lakes that feed the canal. The canal's lock system relies on vast amounts of fresh water, and with less available, strict restrictions have been imposed. Fewer ships can pass daily, creating massive traffic jams at sea and weeks-long delays. Shipping companies face higher costs, lighter loads, and some are forced to take much longer, costlier routes. These disruptions ripple through global supply chains, raising prices for everyday goods. The crisis exposes a fundamental vulnerability: the world's reliance on this single 82-kilometer stretch of water. When the canal falters, the effects are global and immediate. The urgent search for alternative routes is now a necessity, not a theory. The race is on to reshape the map of world trade. The Panama Canal's troubles have made it clear: relying on a single route is risky for global trade. Companies are now urgently exploring alternatives to keep goods moving between oceans. Old ideas are back on the table, like a canal through Nicaragua, and new ones are emerging. Colombia has proposed a high-tech underground railway, while the US relies on its own land bridge of cross-country railways. Even the melting Arctic is opening the Northwest Passage, a potential shortcut between Asia and Europe, though it's fraught with environmental and logistical challenges. Each alternative has trade-offs. New canals are costly and disruptive, land bridges require complex transloading, and Arctic routes are unpredictable. The search for new passages is a high-stakes puzzle. Every option brings unique benefits and drawbacks, from cost to environmental impact. Countries and companies are making decisions that will define global commerce for generations. The world is no longer content with just one main road. The future of trade depends on building resilience and choice into the system. In the scramble for alternatives, China has made a bold move backing Nicaragua's plan for a new interoceanic canal. This isn't the first attempt, but this time, a major Chinese state enterprise is directly involved, starting with a deep-water port at Bluefields. The proposed canal would stretch 445 kilometers, over 5 times longer than Panama's, and connect the Caribbean to the Pacific via Lake Zolotlan. The project's $50 billion price tag reflects its massive scale and ambition. For China, the canal is a strategic play. It would secure a new trade route, reduce reliance on the US-influenced Panama Canal, and fit into its Belt and Road Initiative. Nicaragua's government touts the canal as a nation-transforming project and invites global investment, but questions remain. Financing, timelines, and environmental impacts are still unclear. The world is watching to see if this Chinese-backed partnership can succeed where past efforts failed. If built, the canal would reshape global shipping and the balance of power in the Americas. The stakes couldn't be higher. While Nicaragua dreams of a canal, Mexico is building its own solution: the interoceanic corridor of the Isthmus of Tehuantepec, or CIIT. Instead of a waterway, Mexico's land bridge will move containers by rail across the country's narrowest point, from Salina Cruz on the Pacific to Coatzacoalcos on the Atlantic. Supported by upgraded highways, pipelines, and fiber optics, the corridor promises to move goods in hours, not days. Chinese investment is helping fund the project, making it part of the Belt and Road Initiative. The CIIT is expected to handle 1.4 million containers a year in its first phase, with plans for expansion. For Mexico, the corridor means jobs, new industrial parks, and a major economic boost for the South. Construction is well underway, and the project is emerging as a real competitor to the Panama Canal. The land bridge offers a faster, flexible alternative to canal congestion. As the first trains roll, the world will see if this shortcut can challenge a century of water-based dominance. The race for regional trade supremacy is heating up. These mega projects promise huge economic benefits, especially for countries like Nicaragua and Mexico. Building a canal or corridor means tens of thousands of jobs and billions injected into local economies. New ports, roads, and service industries will spring up, transforming entire regions. Once operational, transit fees and logistics hubs could provide steady revenue and long-term employment. For global shipping, the main draw is speed and reliability, less waiting, faster delivery, and more predictable supply chains. Mexico's land bridge could move containers across the continent in hours, while a new canal could ease Panama's bottleneck. Increased efficiency means lower shipping costs, which can translate to cheaper goods for consumers worldwide. Competing routes would make the global trade network more resilient to disruptions. If one passage falters, others can pick up the slack, keeping commerce flowing. The stakes are high, but so are the potential rewards. The promise of prosperity comes with enormous risks, environmental and financial. A 445-kilometer canal through Nicaragua would disrupt rainforests, threaten unique species, and risk contaminating vital freshwater sources. Dredging Lake Zolotlan could stir up toxic sediments, harming fish and local communities. Like Panama, a lock-based canal would need vast amounts of fresh water, an uncertain prospect in a changing climate. The $50 billion price tag is daunting, and past failures highlight the challenge of securing funding and managing such a complex project. Even with Chinese backing, it's unclear if transit fees could ever repay the investment, especially with new competition. Mexico's corridor faces its own hurdles: construction in sensitive areas, opposition from local communities, and logistical complexity. Both projects are massive gambles, balancing dreams of transformation against the risk of environmental and financial disaster. Success is far from guaranteed. The race for new trade routes is more than economics, it's geopolitical chess. The US has long seen Central America as its backyard, with the Panama Canal a symbol of its influence. China's deep involvement in Nicaragua and Mexico signals a direct challenge to US dominance. By investing billions, China is securing trade routes and building alliances across Latin America. For Nicaragua and Mexico, partnering with China offers development and independence, but risks straining ties with the US. Other global powers are watching closely, wary of instability, but eager for new shipping options. The future of these routes will shape not just trade, but the balance of power in the 21st century. The world is watching to see who will make the winning move. The world stands at a crossroads. Global trade routes are being redrawn. The Panama Canal crisis has accelerated the push for new pathways, with Nicaragua and Mexico leading the charge. If even one project succeeds, it could end Panama's near monopoly and usher in a new era of competition. More routes mean lower costs, faster shipping, and a more resilient global network. But the risks are real: environmental damage, financial uncertainty, and rising US-China tensions. The path forward is uncertain and fraught with challenges. Will Nicaragua's canal become reality? Can Mexico's land bridge deliver? Or will Panama adapt and maintain its dominance? The answers will shape global commerce for decades. One thing is certain: the race to reshape world trade is on.